Hello, I'm Katherine Ryan, and each week, two naughty guests write me a story to a raunchy theme, and the dirtiest story wins. Coming up this week.
I'd rather you just wear Stone Island and love football.
Throb is a good one.
Throb.
He can feel his sausage on hardening under his sausage dog costume.
Her biggest celebrity crush.
I believe someone on Geordie Shore coined the term wide on.
Yes.
And I related to that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe. As I opened my daily post, I was disgusted to receive a letter condemning my gorgeous dog Tallulah for defecating all over the grounds of her court-ordered retreat. How dare they accuse Tallulah? What a bunch of stupid hound handlers, I thought. What a bunch of stupid hound handlers indeed. However, as my unadulterated rage began to fizzle into a curious tingle, thoughts of a canine competition barked through my brain. What if you get confused for a dirty mutt and end up in a slinky harness? What if being a good girl makes you feel hot in your pooch? What if you get a trainer to give you just the right command to get you into doggy? I need to hear this story told in full. I emailed Tallulah's groomer immediately and requested that he find me a couple of slinky scoundrels that could tell me how this story would go and to write me dirty. Hello, I'm Katherine Ryan, and I've got two guests writing me a dirty story, all in hopes of winning a pen. And this week, my two playful pups are Grace Campbell and Tatty Macleod. I'm so excited to have you both as adversaries. My guess is that you two know each other just from being posh.
Oh.
No, how did we meet?
Because you're called Tatty. Is that a posh name here?
I guess it...
Did you go to private school together is what I'm asking.
I didn't go to private school, as you know.
Yeah,
I went to state
know
school.
that. So then how do you
Parliament
just
Hill.
instinctively link up with people called Tatty?
Yeah, we had sex in boarding school.
What your real name is.
Oh, yeah.
When you were on the phone.
I'm a woman of mystery. That's why you don't know much about me.
Oh, all right. So how do you know each other?
How do we know each other?
I don't know.
Just gravitated towards each other in a room.
Do you remember the first time you met me?
Edinburgh Festival? Were you wearing leopard? We saw each other from afar. I was like, I feel like we would probably get on. Did you message me on Instagram? Oh,
I have such a bad memory.
It's a French connection, which is apt because you both came from Paris this morning.
Yeah, we did.
But you definitely messaged me and you were kind of like, I speak French. Which we will test later. But she was like a kind of a vibe of no, I do French too.
I remember the Fringe days of I started with Sarah Pascoe and Roisin, and then Aisling B came along, and of course we know Lou Sanders very our class, for lack of a better term, our graduating year.
Yeah.
We are all so close, and I feel like I'm missing out on the young friendships.
I'm not going up to Edinburgh this year. I don't think you are either. We're not all at the same places the way we used to be, and there's lots more people. So that's never going to happen again. I love that class, and I'm obsessed with it. But I don't think we've got. It's just me and Grace.
Now you're DMing because both of you are quite.
We're just in Paris.
You're both quite prolific on socials too. Is that the new thing? You have loads of followers. You have loads of followers.
I think there's a slight interesting disconnect between we've both done Edinburgh loads, and the Edinburgh Fringe really did help me a lot. But I also see so much value in social media. And I think when I started doing stand-up, that was slightly frowned upon for stand-ups to do.
Big time.
Because it was, and agents would tell me it's kind of lame to
not a
lean
noble art
into.
form.
And so that's an interesting...
and I guess we bonded because we were
fuck that.
We're excuse me.
So you guys persisted with the authenticity that you believed in. You thought, I can do live comedy. I'm also going to exist on the socials. You found each other.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had any sexual fantasies about each other? Because today...
What an amazing segue. One of the things that I was thinking about when thinking about doing this podcast is I find it tricky thinking about my friends having sex. It's a It's like even like one of my best friends has just started having sex with someone who I know, and she's subjecting me to talking about it a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't want to think about it.
I thought you were
Do you know what I
literally going to say,
mean?
and she wants me to be there. And I've told her that I won't attend.
No, but I've had friends try and have involve me in threesomes, and I'm like, I would rather die.
I don't know how you keep a friendship alive after having a threesome with someone, but maybe that's a very antiquated idea.
But people do.
I am interested to hear about it, and I don't shame. Like, I like that both of you are, in my experience of your work, like very sex positive, very open. Grace, I do find it interesting that you don't want to hear about your friends having sex when you tell the world
Totally.
very intimate details of your own sex life.
I think I like talking to people about sex, but if I know both people, it's a bit like I see you as like siblings because I'm so close with both of you.
And that's a fair boundary, I think.
But I also understand that I am very confusing because then I will sit here and talk really explicitly about my sex life and expect you all to listen to it.
And if you had sex, Grace, with someone that I know, I would love to hear every single detail of that. Like, I love when people have sex with someone I know. Tatty, being French, do you think that you are more sexually liberated, perhaps, than Grace?
I grew up in France. French people are interesting when it comes to sex because I think in many ways they're less... It's like the opposite, if I may say, of like Grace in some ways. It's like there'll be less explicitness about it. They won't talk about it and they won't kind of like put it on the table as much. But I think they have a lot more casual sex.
Oh yeah,
they're a lot more, and they're way
they love
more.
casual affairs.
They're really relaxed about
generalise.
liquids.
Whoa,
Do you know what I mean?
relaxed about liquids.
What, like squirting?
Yes, e.g., but also, just generally like in the bedroom, there's a lot more like, oh, if there's a bit of poo or there's a bit of... I don't have any poo,
Tell us
way.
some specific anecdotes.
There's
Liquids.
This guy that I've been seeing, he told me a story. I mean, this is unrelated.
But he sounds like a one-of-a-kind human being.
He is special. Just anecdotes, he told me a story about he used to rent out his second room as an Airbnb. He had a couple come, and when this couple came and they left, they'd obviously done some anal, and they left shitty sheets. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, and you had to clean that? And he was like, yeah. He was like, just a bit of poo.
He'd be a good dad. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
He'd do
green
the
flag.
nappies.
Give me time.
I like
Can you
it.
imagine this becomes a How I Met Your Mother story?
Yes.
Always do anal first, and that's when you know.
I love that some of our formative experiences as young women just really inform how we feel about entire cultures. Like, Tatty knew a kind of crazy guy who was fine with the shitty sheets, and she's like, all French people are cool with liquid.
Yeah.
Like, no.
They're not as precious. I once dated a guy, but he wasn't French. And he said that women's body odors change depending on where she was in a cycle.
No, I hate
and
that.
he used to actually put his nose up into my armpit and snort it when I was ovulating.
This is an issue in me that I do need to attack, but also not, because there are lots of versions of this on the internet, but when I feel like men are performatively very feminist and woke. So it's when a man's gone out of their way to learn about your ovulation and your
pinky nail with nail
hormones,
varnish.
it really puts me off a bit. I'd rather you just wear Stone Island and love football.
Well, let me tell you something right now. In Paris, no performative feminism.
Yeah.
No feminism.
I do.
It's fantastic. It's a safe space. It's just old school misogyny.
Were there any challenges that you ladies faced with this assignment?
Writing Tatty having sex and thinking about what pleasures her, it was difficult for me to access that.
Too close to home.
In my brain.
I didn't even think about your pleasure. I was just like...
Oh, really? Oh,
I was
that's so feminist of you. So do I not
I'd
come
make
in
a
your
great
story?
man. I was just like, what do I find funny?
Yeah.
What would I enjoy?
You were given the assignment of writing a dirty story about one another, and you've been given a setting, a character, and a prop to include. Your story takes place at a dog show, and it must feature a dog show judge, a Shih Tzu, and a grooming brush. The winner will receive a Write Me Dirty pen and a place of privilege for their story to go on my sensual shelf. Consent in the Write Me Dirty library is very important, so I will leave it to you to choose who goes first.
Oh, we're both going to say the same thing. We're going to say I don't mind.
Oh, no, I want to go second.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Tatty, what's the name of your story, please?
My story is called Horny in Paris. Tales of a 30-something woman who travels to Paris whilst ovulating.
Wow.
I don't know. Should I do like a sex story of like a
Yes, yeah. Well, if you want to win the pen,
yeah, okay,
give it
great.
all you've got.
As the doors to the Saint-Amour Paris Exhibition Centre open, the deep, pungent smell of dog shit shoots up Grace's nostrils. She's ill-prepared for this olfactory invasion. Her only reflex is to pinch her nose against the rising tide of poo. Literally, K-Man, kill me now for the non-Gen Z listeners.
Tatty, the poo is making its way in so early.
No, she's obsessed with
God.
France.
Like, I didn't expect it at all. I thought maybe, and then right out the gate, the deep, pungent.
This is what Paris has done to me.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time in Paris and I become a pooey person, a poo girl.
A poo
I'm so
girl.
sorry. Literally, K-Man begs Grace as she sucks on her vape. A cloud of watermelon-infused nicotine gives her momentary relief before she's plunged back into the putrid perfume of Saint-Amour. If only she didn't have this crippling headache. God damn Paris for making her drink all that champagne last night.
Oh.
Well, TBF, Paris didn't make her drink that champagne. It didn't force her to drink that champagne. But what else are you supposed to do when your chambre simple has been upgraded to la suite présidentielle?
Oh, how luxe.
Do I need to translate
my
that for
vibe.
anyone?
Grace and I speak French.
Yeah, we
Okay,
speak
wow,
French.
okay.
Yeah, so that
Of
was
course
just
you do,
from
you're
the simple
Canadian.
room.
Yeah, but I don't speak a French that you would like.
You speak funny.
Anglais.
Yeah,
Yeah, like, on parle comme ça, là, et je comprends le français, mais ça fait si longtemps que je parle.
Oh my God,
alors
I
je-
love that.
Very Celine Dion.
I love
Yeah,
that.
I don't have to do that accent. I can
I
sort
like
of
that
clean it
accent
up.
a lot.
So Grace was in just a regular suite and she was upgraded to
To
the
la suite
presidential.
présidentielle. Yeah. How do you not drink champagne when you find yourself in a jacuzzi with views of the Eiffel Tower and, better still, a sexy Frenchman staring at you from his bedroom window?
Oh.
He knew exactly what he was doing as he slowly undressed whilst watching Grace gradually melt into the bubbles, nothing more than a glass of ruinart and a puddle of desire. She quietly smiles to herself as her fanny tingles at the memory.
Oh.
Wait, how do you feel, Grace, about the term fanny?
Oh, fanny, I love.
Yeah.
Tingle. It's giving, I don't know, like an allergic reaction. It's giving like needs antihistamine. It's giving I've just been stung by a stinging nettle.
Well, how do you feel when you're aroused?
When I describe it, is that it's like my vagina's floating. So I
Okay.
describe
Floating.
it.
Do you prefer if
Before.
I say, she quietly smiles to herself as her fanny floats at the memory?
Well, I prefer flutters in that
Flutters.
context.
Aches?
Oh, okay.
Mine aches
Yeah,
sometime.
throb.
Aches.
Like, you know when
Throb is a good one.
Throb.
I believe
Yeah.
someone on Geordie Shore coined the term wide on.
Yes.
And I related to that. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe.
That would be a bit further down the arousal line.
Yeah.
Not with Grace. She's
Straight in
I'm
there.
literally, I've come already.
0 to 50 in 5 seconds. The Ferraris of arousal.
I like tingles.
Thank you very
The
much.
story, I think
also
you're nailing it.
was just, I just was observing the word tingle, but I think you
Okay.
should keep it
Thank you
true.
very much.
Mhm.
You're the artist here.
Super. Okay. Je peux vous aider, madame? Grace is pulled from her wet reverie by a young man dressed as a sausage dog.
Ooh. What a
He's-
twist. What a sexy twist.
Well, we don't know yet that he is the sexy twist.
But I'm turned on. He himself is a wiener.
Right, quite.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Well, there's lots of phallics in it, and I really
Oh,
thought
love
that
it.
through as the
Okay,
author.
I'm in. Yep.
He's clearly intrigued by this strange and beautiful woman. She's been blocking the entrance to the exhibition centre for the last 5 minutes, yet she doesn't seem to have a care in the world. He's never seen anything like her. She's got the elegance of a Shih-Tzu and the glamour of a Shetland sheepdog. He can feel his saucisson hardening under his sausage dog costume.
I'm obsessed.
I love that Grace is blocking the entrance with the watermelon vase
Yeah.
without a care in the world.
But it's so in character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oui, you can help me. Oh, sorry, I'm playing you now. Oui. Yeah, you can help me. I'm here for the competition. And on that, Grace picks up the love of her life,
Oh.
her raison d'être, her better half, Eddie. She presents the golden cockapoo. What is it? Sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was so engrossed in the story.
no.
Someone give me a
and now
pen.
we've just broken the fourth wall.
Oh, God.
She presents this
No,
golden
we're
retriever.
keeping this in. This is staying in the edit. She's King Charles
She's
Spaniel,
King
Cavalier
Charles.
King Charles.
She presents.
I love the way French say it. They go, the Cavalier King Charles.
Charles.
Yeah.
She presents the Cavalier King Charles to the blushing young man by way of explanation and follows his direction towards the inscription table. I'm sorry, baby. I can't believe how selfish I've been. Grace whispers quietly into Eddie's ears before kissing her perfect curls. She really has been a terrible mummy to poor Eddie. Ever since she's arrived in Paris, all Grace has done is pleasure herself. First on the train, then in the hotel, then at the brasserie over dinner,
Oh, not
then
the
at the cafe
brasserie.
over breakfast.
Oh, God.
Yet that wasn't the purpose of the trip. They came to Paris to find Eddie a lover, not Grace. And where better to go to find a perfect pooch for her perfect pooch than the world's most exclusive dog contest, la crème de la canine world, crusts. Once she'd signed Eddie into the sexy bitch category, she headed to the toilet to readjust her fuchsia wrap dress and spruce up Eddie's fur and vomit. As Grace struts out the bathroom, finally free of yesterday's hangover, she feels her palm meet something very hard, yet very human. She looks up to see the source of this hard human collision and yelps, "Mon Dieu!" as she drops her crystal grooming brush to the floor. She'd recognize those clavicles anywhere. This wasn't any 6'2", broad-chested, moustache-bearing, 37-year-old man with a stable job and a good relationship to his mother. This was her 6'2" green flag with linen sheets that she met yesterday whilst naked in a jacuzzi. Admittedly, they hadn't exchanged a single word, so she was just basing most of that maternal relationship / linen sheets / stable job on the photo she spotted on his chest of drawers that she occasionally glanced at when she wasn't absorbed in staring at his massive... Of all of the dog shows in all of Paris, you gotta walk into mine.
Ooh.
He looks at her befuddled. Casablanca, Humphrey Bogart. Okay, so he's not a cinephile, but that's fine. We can work on that, thinks Grace as she starts to plan trips to the cinema in short skirts, his hand slowly creeping up her bare leg until he gently pulls aside her knickers and... Eddie barks. Eddie, stop interrupting Mummy when she's about to...
Innit?
Grace looks up at the Adonis before her. Make new friends. She couldn't see his eyes from the pool last night, but under the strobe lighting of the Saint-Amour exhibition centre, she can't see anything else. Dark, velvety, like her favourite Juicy Couture sweatsuit. She wants to drink them in like a jug of port after Christmas Day with your extended family. She wants to disappear into them like a fart in the wind.
Like a what? Like a fart in the wind.
She can feel her nipples hardening and pulling her towards him, as if he were a magnet and she but a flimsy piece of perfectly formed steel.
Now, is he still in the sausage dog costume?
It's a different man.
That was, I think, a boy working at the
Exhibition
the
centre.
expo.
Oh, all right.
Sorry.
I was fine. I was so lost in the
Sorry.
sexuality. I thought he'd followed her to the dogs show / auction sex party for dogs.
No, there's no following.
He was a red herring. Red herring?
Fine.
Yeah.
Red herring.
He was just like a aperitif.
I love how bored you are of your own story.
Yeah,
You're just
I'm like,
I actually
right,
know
I need to
the
get back to
plot.
Paris. I need to meet this fucking guy in the hotel.
He smiles awkwardly and nods towards his foot where Eddie is savagely humping his ankle.
She's getting some.
Oh, how Grace wishes she could be Eddie. Just for a second. An animal, liberated from all societal expectations and free from the concept of decent behaviour. If she were Eddie, she'd grab the back of his hair and press his hand on her breast. She'd let him lick her hard nipples whilst grabbing her derriere. Pardon. Too much?
Daria, so funny.
Yeah, it's nice.
Pardon, je... Grace pries Eddie off the Adonis's foot. He laughs, and in doing so reveals a set of teeth, all of them, flossed and clearly regularly treated by a hygienist.
No braces.
God, when will the green flags end? Grace stifles a grunt that travels up from her fanny.
Oh,
Wow.
a grunting fanny.
You are in the competition? Well, she is. I'm not. I'm not a bitch, sadly. Well, unless you want me to. Ha ha, woof. Shut up, Grace.
Oh.
Don't lose him with your critically acclaimed, award-winning, Apollo sellout English humour. Dommage. I am one of the judges.
Oh.
Oh, really? Well, I would do anything to win. His eyebrow lifts just a fraction of an inch, and in this moment, between them, opens up a delicious space, a chasm of possibility, a gulf of desire which can be bridged in an instant with a simple touch of the clitoris.
Oh.
As Grace stands there on the linoleum floor of the Saint Amour Exhibition Centre, the smell of urine wafting in from the toilets behind, trapped in the gaze of this perfect human specimen, she realises this trip wasn't about Eddie at all. It was her who was on heat all along.
Grace on heat. You know, what a great
tour
story.
references.
I loved all the tour
I
references.
mean, honestly,
I thought
it's
it was
actually
fabulous.
marketing.
It's
Thank
great
you very
marketing
much.
for my show that
we
I've
are.
done, but I absolutely loved that.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
It was engrossing.
Yeah, I was mesmerized. I thought it
Mm.
was written so beautifully for being filth.
Totally.
It was very literary.
Thank
I
you.
liked that Grace, being a good mummy, took Eddie to meet someone, found someone for herself, but Eddie got a little hump in there as well. And there is something hot about transactional sex and the added layer of being able to influence the competition.
That's why something like 50 Shades of Grey did so well, because I
Mm.
think there's something about wanting to play with power and dominance,
Yeah.
but within a safe space, within like a consenting, safe
Dog
space.
show.
Yeah, exactly.
Really terrific start.
I loved it. I have no notes. I thought it portrayed me amazingly.
Did you like the
Um,
beautiful bit?
I loved the strange and weird and beautiful because that's how I imagine people to describe me. I loved
like
it
the,
all.
the fuchsia wrap dress.
Yeah, I loved that.
I was going to put some Prada heels in.
I loved the
but
mini skirt.
You've
I
really
loved
absorbed
Well,
it.
I love stuff about me. It's my favourite topic.
Grace, are you ready to read us your
I'm
story?
a bit scared now. I sort of wish I went first, but let's see.
What's it called, Grace?
Okay, so my story is called Best in Ho.
Oh.
Okay, we're a different caliber.
Yeah, we are.
A
It's
different genre.
Have you seen the film Best in
Yes,
Show? Isn't it
there are a
great?
few Best in Show references in this.
Oh, great.
Cold open. Tatty is running late for the world-renowned dog show, Best in Ho. A dog show looking for the hoiest dog on the planet. Tatty looks out of place, running into London's XL Centre with Bark Bunny, the French bulldog who's got a waistcoat on that's too small for her and a little tutu. Bark Bunny's like shaking her bum as she walks. Tatty's on the phone, explaining that she's been roped into walking her friend Carla's dog at a dog show because Carla got held up at UK Customs for trying to bring in 85 boxes of poo paw, her dog shit bag brand that she was hoping to sell at Best in Ho.
You guys love shit.
Tatty is not a massive dog person, but Carla, Bark Bunny's owner, once saved Tatty's life when she was choking on a bit of quinoa.
I do have a tiny throat, so it would make sense that I would choke on a grain of quinoa.
Okay, Miss Tiny Throat. Oh, I haven't gotten to that yet.
Not bragging.
And Carla won't let Tatty forget about it. Every time they go anywhere, Carla credits Tatty's success in her life and her career down to the fact that Carla saved her life
Oh my
that
God, that's
almost
so
fatal
annoying.
day. Yeah, so annoying.
We wouldn't be friends anymore.
No, well, here you are at the Excel Arena. Tatty walks into the Excel Arena or whatever it's called. What's it called? The Excel?
Yeah, I think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
Center Arena.
Excel Centre. She's flustered. Best in Ho is like Crufts, but for sluts. The sluts being the owners of the dogs. If Crufts is for women who are in the Women's Institute, WI, and go on walking holidays in the Alps, Best in Ho is for dog owners who know how to say morning after pill in every language.
My sister would absolutely sign her dog up for Best in Ho. I could see her absolutely loving that.
Yeah, I also think Best in Ho like should exist.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean?
This is what I mean. I mean, it's a real
it's
transferable
good-
idea.
Yeah. Tatty goes to get her and Bark Bunny's accreditation. She sees that on the list of judges, one of her friends is there. Grace Campbell.
Of course you had to put yourself into my story.
Don't you worry, I'm the main character of the story, don't worry. Of course Grace is judging this. Daddy's there. Grace, who loves to talk about the fact that she once got her dog the morning after pill. Obviously, she's wangled her way into this show. Eddie and Grace should be competing in the event, Tatty says to Bark Bunny. Then Tatty's eyes avert. She sees one of the other judges is her biggest celebrity crush.
Who?
Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, good crush. Good crush.
Tatty takes a sharp inhale. She can't believe she might possibly meet Pierce Brosnan. She's been a huge fan of him since she saw him in A Christmas Star, 2015. Tatty texts Grace saying, hey, I'm at the show. I've just seen you're a judge. I'd really love to come and say hi to you and Piers. Grace just does a laugh emoji to the message and then says, oh my God, is this your thing now? Tatty's confused. What the hell does that mean? Is Grace trying to suggest that dog shows can't be my thing? Grace doesn't own dog shows. This is so Grace, Tatty thinks, putting herself at the centre of everything.
Is this a good time for you to talk about the blind people in Paris story?
Oh, no.
No, the other day I was in Paris and there was like loads of blind people.
What
Like,
did you do to the blind?
no, it was just like a lot. Like I was sitting in this cafe working and like everyone walking past was blind. And I was like, there's that many blind people like in the world. And I was really confused. I texted Tatty like, I keep seeing blind people and it's like freaking me out. There's like an omen. Like, am I going to go blind? And then I Googled it and it was because there was a blind convention going on like the road that I was in. And Tatty was like, that is so you to make like the blind convention about yourself.
God
Where
has
she
sent
was
me
like,
a
what does this
convention.
mean for me?
Yeah.
Am I going to go blind? I was like, no, you're just geographically, coincidentally in the same street.
Yeah.
I think it is very enlightened, though,
Yeah.
because your experience is the only one that you know to be true.
Exactly. And this is one of the things I think about a lot. I think everybody should be the main character in their own heads.
Mhm.
Tatty decides, instead of doing this half-heartedly as she was going to, she will conquer this show. She flicks her hair. She looks at Bark Bunny and says, woof. Tatty and Bark Bunny walk through the backstage part of the arena, watching large poodles have blow dries and greyhounds have their balls trimmed, while their owners will flirt with each other. On the wall is a video projection of Jennifer Coolidge and Jane Lynch snogging in the film Best in Show. Tatty notices she is getting attention from some of the other owners. She's being admired. Yeah, I look good, she thinks. Fuck Grace. Fuck her for asking if this is my thing. I must remember to take her off of my Christmas card list. Tatty puts Bark Bunny on the table in her little booth and she gets out the grooming brush which Carla has given her. The brush is state-of-the-art, covered in diamonds, dog hair brush which pumps water out in a sort of vibrational mechanism. Next to Tatty is a Shih Tzu and the Shih Tzu's owner, Axel. Axel is tall and handsome and for some reason he hasn't got a top on. Axel is giving his Shih Tzu a massage. He's delicately massaging the Shih Tzu's hind legs. Tatty observes Axel's muscles. Wow. Tatty gets that feeling. You know, like when you fancy someone and you're just like, where is the button? The button that you can press and suddenly everyone else in the arena, the dogs, the owners, Grace Campbell, even Piers Brosnan, just go away and she could be alone with this man. Axel, the dog whisperer. Axel, the healer. Axel, the topless man with khaki shorts and Birkenstocks and an anklet, which usually Tatty finds repulsive.
He's wearing Birkenstocks. Yeah, that's an ick for me.
With socks or without? Both unacceptable?
I don't really like men in sandals.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about if the anklet is a like prison tag?
Why do I want to say that's more arousing?
It's kind of chicer than an anklet from like Camden Market.
It depends what it's for. He might be in prison because he might work for Greenpeace.
Mm-hmm.
But then he would be the kind of person who wear Birkenstocks. So it is a double-edged sword.
That's true.
He's so hot that he's eclipsed Pierce Morgan, which is exciting to me.
Yeah.
You want Pierce Morgan to disappear. That's how hot Axel
Pierce
is.
Brosnan.
Very true.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
The first time round I was like, yes. And then I was like, no, not Pierce Morgan.
Wow. Catherine, you want to talk about that Freudian slip?
Yeah, that is a worry.
No, but you know what? When I was writing this, I did write Pierce Morgan a few times by accident. And then I was like, that could have been a good twist that suddenly it was Pierce Morgan.
Changes the whole thing.
It really does.
Really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But Axel has a je ne sais quoi. and Tatty wants to invest in him like he's a Bitcoin in 2011. Out in the auditorium, Grace and Piers Brosnan are judging the personality round at the show. Grace's dog Eddie is flirting with one of the contestants. Grace is flirting with Piers Brosnan. She keeps telling anyone who will listen that there is a sexual tension between them. No one else can see it. Piers Brosnan looks really put out and he actually doesn't want to be there. Axel and Tatty's round is next. Tatty tells Axel that this is her first time in a dog show.
Oh, sexy.
Axel puts his hand on Tatty's shoulder and then slowly strokes the small of her back. You're going to be amazing, he reassures her. Tatty finds it hard to process the feeling she just felt. The connection, like 5G to an iPhone. Instant, magnetic, addictive. Tatty and Axel and the other dogs in their category are led towards the entrance of the arena. Tatty can see Grace and Eddie, who are sitting at the judge tables with Piers Brosnan, and now also Richard Iwade is there.
Great judge. Great judge.
Axel comes behind Tatty and he massages her back. Tatty usually hates this kind of thing, but Axel has a magic touch. From the moment she saw him working his magic on the dog's hind legs, she knew she wanted him to massage her. He works his way down her back and her eyes close. She drifts off into another realm where her and Axel are together, alone, on a beach in the south of France. They're lying in the sun. Axel's looking into Tatty's eyes and Tatty knows they are about to have the most extraordinary, out-of-this-world sex that will put every other lover to shame. Tatty's fantasy is rudely interrupted when they're instructed to walk out into the main room and be seen by the judges. Tatty is told to run with Bark Bunny. As she runs, her and Axel can't take their eyes off of each other, walking up and down with Piers Brosnan and Richard Iwade. Grace is trying to decide who the winner is. Grace walks over to Tatty and says, I can't believe you're doing this. Tatty snaps. Grace, you do not have the monopoly on dog shows. Grace says, what? No, I know I don't, but this is a sex party. It's not just a dog show. After the dog show, it becomes a sex party. I think it's really great you're throwing yourself into this, Tatty. I'm really proud of you. But I've shotgun Piers Brosnan.
Oh, yeah.
Grace walks away. Tatty's confused. She didn't know that this was what she'd signed up for. She doesn't want to share Axel. She wants him all for herself, without hundreds of dogs running around and bitches. The winners are announced. Tatty and Axel have won Best in Ho. Grace goes up to Tatty and whispers in her ear, you've got to shag that guy.
I mean,
I'm disappointed I didn't get my sex on the beach.
I know.
I
And
was
I
hoping
actually-
for a longer passage there.
I know, and I did write, that was the part I wrote next to you today, and I was like, this is too much, I'm not gonna, but I think that's kind of like, you know, it's the alluding to, I maybe didn't explore it enough, but it was probably more of a comedic story than a sexual one.
No, but it's nice because
to
it
be
leaves us
honest.
on the cusp. You know, we know the sex
But they're going to
party's
shag. It's
coming.
like, do you know that bit in that moment in X Factor where Matt Cardle wins and then Harry Styles goes up to him and he's like, you're going to get so much pussy now.
Yeah.
That's the scene I was sort of trying to recreate with me going up to her, you saying you should shag him.
Yeah, I didn't immediately have that reference, but I think
That was the thought process.
now that you
behind
mention
that
reference.
scene.
also the idea of having an orgy in the Excel Centre is really...
With loads of dogs.
I mean, talk about a cavernous space.
yeah. I wonder if the
That'd be
lighting
great.
changes.
But sex parties sometimes are in weird places like that, like really big.
Excel Centres.
Best in
Exhibition
Ho.
centres made for like 5,000 exhibitors. One of the
It's
largest
the world's
indoor...
biggest sex party is at the Excel
largest
Centre.
indoor
Just hose it down
exhibitions.
at the end. you
Yeah,
know?
and then have your business meeting upstairs.
Yeah.
I thought it was so funny, Grace, and I loved the inclusion of so much Grace Campbell, our favorite subject. Yeah, a great character. It was very much like edging this story. Is it a dog show? Is it a sex party? Is she going to have sex with Axel? Why is Richard Iowati there all of a sudden? Like it was,
Because Grace also wants to go with him.
yeah,
Yeah.
it had a lot of temptation, a lot
Yeah.
of like sexual teasing. I thought maybe Axel was going to use that brush, that vibrating water brush.
Well,
on
that was
someone.
actually a callback. That was meant to be. And as I was reading that, I was like, "Fuck!" When I put the vibrating brush, there was meant to be a moment where the vibrating brush got used as a vibrator.
But we imagine that it will
Yeah.
in the sex party.
Thank you for reminding me.
What
of
are
that.
your reactions to this, sordid
It felt
best in
very,
Ho
it felt
tale?
very authentic.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed the presence. You know, lots of different characters, loads of dynamic. Yeah, you can really feel that this is the first chapter of something.
Yeah.
It's very exciting.
I'm ready to make my decision and award the pen
Oh gosh.
to the winner of Write Me Dirty today, whose story will be going into my salacious, seductive, slippery library.
I don't know if I want mine actually on this shelf.
Shitty library. Okay. I love both of you so much. I've loved getting to know both of you on such an intimate level. And I hope to, maintain the female comedian pact in this country of being friends, even though I'm old and I'm not really into any of the things that you guys are into anymore. But I was inspired by it all. Grace, I could really follow your story well. I know the Excel Center. I'm familiar with some of the celebrities.
The sex parties.
We've all been tricked and trapped into like, is it a dog show? Is it a sex party? I think a lot of people would attend a sex party like that. Tatty, I love the voice that you chose to narrate your story. I think there will be listeners at home who've come for the comedy and stayed for the wank.
Thank you. That's the dream.
I loved them both. I'm going to base my winner solely on the explicitness. And that winner included fanny tingling, fanny
pants to the side.
Grunt.
Yes, fanny
grunt.
grunts.
There was came from the fanny and out like just a lot more sex, I think.
Was.
Whereas Grace, I had to do a lot of the work for myself.
No, I know. I'm very PG.
Yeah, it was PG,
Quite crude,
especially
actually.
for you. But the winner is Tatty, and the story is called Horny in Paris, Tales of a 30-year-old woman who travels to Paris whilst ovulating.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just want to thank my imagination.
Yeah.
All my previous sexual partners, even the bad ones. I want to thank Jilly Cooper, great inspiration for this. Eddie, Grace, who of course is at the centre of this book. Sausage dogs, watermelon vapes, and of course, fannies.
Congratulations.
Oh my God,
Let's see.
Thank you so much to my guests, Grace Campbell and Tatty Macleod.
Let's all go have some sex.
Hearing Tatty's story brought my doggy daydreams to life. As soon as Grace and Tatty left, the winning book went to print and I popped it on my esteemed shelf. And for those at home, if this has inspired you to write your own dirty story, I'll leave you with this lengthy, girthy tip. Dogs don't feel embarrassed, so embrace this in your writing and stop feeling coy. Pick up a pen right away and sniff that other Alsatian's arse. That's all from me. Until next time, when 2 more guests will write me dirty. All right, Sergio. Yes, I know. You want to go walkies? Mommy's working. Oh, you are a good boy. Sergio. No.